I am on a mission to lose the last 30 pounds of my baby weight. I've lost about 10 pounds so far. I did lose 12, but I gained some of it back. And I talk more about that, what's going on with me in the video today. But today is part 2 of yesterday's video. So if you didn't watch yesterday's, you might want to give that a watch first, just so you have more context about what is going on. I start the day, this video, with a run in the morning, and then share what I eat in a day, as well as just my reflections about what's going on. So let's jump in. Last night sucked again. Not as bad as the day before, but after I had whatever it was I showed you, a banana and some potatoes, I was still hungry, and it was already starting to get late at that point. It was like 8:30, and I usually don't eat that late because I hate how it makes me feel. Like, it affects my sleep too. And it definitely, have noticed eating at night affects my weight. But yeah, I was still hungry, like really hungry. And so I was like, I'm just gonna have a few dates, and I ended up eating the whole container. It was like probably a little bit more than half full, and I had like some, and then I was like, okay, I'm done, like a handful, and then it was like another handful and another handful, and then I just like could not stop. Like, I just couldn't stop. I didn't even want them anymore. Like, they're very sweet, and after a while it's like a lot. I didn't even want them anymore, and I just could not stop. I felt like I was like completely possessed. Something was like taking over me, and I just could not stop. I did even towards the end, like, stop myself. I was like, I just don't even want anymore. Like, I don't even like this. And I like closed the container and like set it aside. Was going back to like, editing. I'm working on editing my videos at night. And then I just opened the container again and just finished it. When I eat a lot of carbohydrates, especially at night, but really just any time, like a high amount like that, my body gets so hot. And like all night I was so hot. Right now it's like 50 degrees out. I'm on the trail. Some guy just passed me wearing like full on freaking sweatsuit, and I'm wearing this like tank top and I don't know, capri style bottoms, and I'm so hot. And my weight went up today 0.8 pounds from yesterday. My son woke up on the early side, like 6:15, and I felt wide awake. Like, sometimes I'll pass him to my boyfriend and get a little bit of extra sleep in the morning, but I felt like well rested, like I felt like I had a lot of energy. So I passed him, and now I'm gonna go for a run, and then I'll have to start my work day. I'm working from home today. I hope today's a better day. I have so many thoughts about all of this that I want to share. One of the main things I'm thinking is that maybe I need to kind of take a break from dieting. Not for my weight loss journey. I'm not like giving up or anything like that. I have weight to lose. I want to be healthy. I want to move my body better. I want to feel good in my body. So I definitely, I want to reach this goal that I have. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach 160 by my birthday. And I also don't know that I want to like put that kind of pressure on myself. I think even though I'm only losing like, I was averaging a little over a pound a week. Maybe it doesn't seem like that much, but maybe it is. Maybe because I'm breastfeeding. it's just a lot on my body. Maybe I need to be slower, just not rush it so much. I think also for me, like the hyper fixation on losing weight and having the scale like constantly go down is a lot of pressure. I'm definitely a perfectionist, and if I don't do something like right or perfect or whatever, I beat myself up. I feel like I failed. When I was talking to my boyfriend about this, and he's like, you've not failed. Like, look at all of the hard work that you've done and are continuing to do. Just because, you know, you have these imperfect moments or imperfect days, it doesn't take away from all your progress, which is one of the things I hated about AA. I talked about this in one of my videos, my story video, about how I'm an alcoholic. I haven't had a drink in almost 11 years. At the beginning of my at the beginning of my sobriety, I was in AA for a bit. And this is no hate about AA, because I know it works. And like, if it's working for you, like, that's amazing. Like, stay with it. But just one of the things that didn't resonate with me was this idea that if you have a drink, you essentially like give up all of your chips that you've accumulated. Like, all that progress that you've made is kind of thrown out the window, and you start all over again. So you could be like years sober and have one drink and get right back on track, but it essentially like erases everything that you've done. And that was really messing with my head. I feel like I'm putting that same kind of pressure on myself now, where, yeah, I have these moments where I'm not perfect, and then I'm just like discrediting all the work that I've done, rather than acknowledging that this is a journey. There are going to be highs and lows. There's going to be hills and valleys, and I need to just keep going. One of the things that I took away from one of the podcasts I was listening to, that I was talking about lean with plants, Chelsea was talking about how really it's really more important to just focus on processes and inputs rather than the outputs. The outputs will take care of themselves if you just continue to take action, and breaking it down into really, really small steps. So like, if you want to start working out more and you don't have that habit developed yet, the first thing you need to do to like get to the gym is put your shoes on. Like, put your shoes on, put your running clothes on. So maybe that's the first habit that you really establish, is like setting your running clothes out, or just putting your shoes on. Even if you don't make it past that, that is the first thing that you have to do. If you want to go to the gym, you have to put your shoes on. And same thing with like this type of lifestyle that I'm living, whole food, plant-based, starch solution. I need to eat my vegetables. And just, buying the vegetables, that's one step. Preparing them is one step. Even just putting them on my plate, even if I don't eat them, the act of putting them on my plate, I have to do that. I have to get them out. I have to put them on my plate. I have to prepare them in order to eat them. That's the first tiny step. And so a lot of these things, I've been doing. And if I look at it that way, I didn't fail yesterday, because I did eat my vegetables. I did get out and walk around with my son. I did do a lot of things, and I still have room for growth. I still have room for improvement. And ultimately, these are lifelong.
I mentioned yesterday how I got to wash my hair, and today it's finally dry, and I was just really feeling myself. I love it when I get to wash my hair. I made some tea for me and my boyfriend, mother's milk for me, and I did the throat coat for him. That one is his favorite. And then for my first meal, I had a big component bowl of a pound of steamed cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. And there is a lot of black beans in there, some more of those little round potatoes, green onion, tomato, and a bunch of jalapenos and some jalapeno juice. I'm back on my jalapeno game. This was so good, and it was a lot of food, at least a couple of pounds. but it was delicious. I really missed having jalapenos with my component bowl.
I've been doing a lot of fathoming today, as one does. And one of the things that is really occurring to me that I've known, but it's just become a lot more, I don't know, present and obvious now is my negative self image. I have a really bad body image. And really, that's where a lot of my issues stem from since childhood. I was like a little bit overweight as a kid, but nothing alarming, nothing where I should have been put on a diet or anything like that. Just like a little bit chubby, chubbier than my siblings. I was just surrounded by like diet culture and thinness and leanness. And when I realized that I didn't, look like those skinny people, I felt like I needed to change. And I've always had this problem of tying my self-worth to my appearance and particularly to my weight. And it doesn't make any sense because I don't hold that same standard to anybody else, to my friends, my family, strangers in the world. I would never look at somebody who's, not skinny and think that they are worth less. But for some reason, that's how I view myself. That negative self talk that I have when I look in the mirror and when I just, I'm not fitting into my like skinny clothes and things, that negative self talk is not helping me. It really sets me back because whenever I do like mess up, I overeat or I binge, I use that as evidence to fuel this negative self self talk that like, oh, see, I am worth less. See, look what I did. I can't even stick to this diet. I can't even, you know, put my health before these unhealthy behaviors. I failed. I suck. Those kinds of things. I use that as evidence for this story that I've created about myself, and then it just perpetuates it even more. And it's so interesting because looking better, I'll be on, or looking not better, but skinnier, I will be honest, is one of the reasons why I want to lose weight, but it is not the main reason. I genuinely feel better when I'm closer to like my ideal weight or like my ideal set point. I have more energy, I move better, I physically feel more like connected to my body. But there is also, I'm not going to deny the fact that I also like how I look better. But that should not be like the main reason. That should not be any kind of driving force. And that shouldn't justify me tying how I look to my self worth. And I asked my partner today, I was like, are you attracted to me? And I asked for a very honest answer. Like, we have very honest conversations about these types of things. And I know he would be honest with me and say, like, if he wasn't attracted to me or wasn't as attracted to me or something, he would say it in a nice way. He would say, like, you look great, but I also, I really liked how you looked before you were pregnant, or I don't know how he would phrase it, but he's very good at these types of things. If I'm really looking for just honest feedback from him, and not necessarily like objective, like what the rest of the world, how the rest of the world would see me, or how maybe my numbers look on paper or something like that, but him personally, his true opinion, because his opinion matters to me. And he's like, no, I'm so attracted to you. Like, you're absolutely gorgeous. Like, if you never lost any more weight or anything, I'd be very attracted to you. And I was like, huh, okay. So why am I not attracted to myself? I talk about Chelsea May Cullen, I feel like a lot, or I've talked about her a lot in this video, but I really like her mindset when it comes to body image. She takes a body neutrality standpoint. So, not looking at herself and saying, oh, like I look amazing, or oh, I don't look great, or whatever, but just being neutral about it. Just, this is how I look. This is my body. It is what it is. There's not positive, there's not negative. It just is. I really like that because then it gives me space. It gives me room to breathe, to just be how I am, to just look how I look. And it just is. It's not bad. It's not good. It just is. It's not tied to my worth in any way. And I really want to adopt more of that kind of thinking, but I don't know how. I don't know how. I've had this habit in my head of talking to myself this way my whole life. And I don't know how to break that habit, but I think there is something there. And that's something that I really want to work on with this weight loss journey, is changing the way that I talk to myself, changing the way that I see myself, changing how I treat myself. This all ties together. Like, it's really not just about sticking to a certain meal plan, eating a certain way. I really think there is almost like a spiritual component to all of this, emotional and mental, and these facets that are not tangible. Because I can follow a diet. Yes, maybe I'll have slip ups here and there, but for the most part, I think you've seen with all of my what I eat in a days, when I make a decision about something, like I do it. I go all in.
I started munching on these and realized I forgot to record it, but there was a whole cucumber in there, a bell pepper, baby carrot, and a few stalks of celery.
What I need to really work on,
I snacked on this during the day at my desk. And then later I had this big bowl of salad. I needed to use up these greens.
That's where I'm at. That's what I've been
little glass jar there had some syrup in there from sweet potatoes that were roasting in the oven. I used that with hummus, balsamic vinegar, and hot sauce to make a dressing and pour over my greens that had coleslaw mix, green onion, and apple. And then I threw on a big scoop of these lentils that I made that had canned tomato and a bunch of seasonings. And I also added a big scoop of this rice that my boyfriend made. I haven't had rice in a while, and this was so good. That is everything that I ate today. I'm going to sign off so that this video doesn't get too long, but I want to thank you for sticking around, for cheering me on. It means the world. It's so helpful. I feel so grateful for your support, and I really love to hear how you're doing. So let me know in the comments, and I will check in with you again very soon.